Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of something that is hot off the presses. INART 1/12 scale Batman from The Dark Knight Rises, Christian Bale Batman. Um, you've probably seen this thing if you watch toy reviews. I'm kind of late getting this. It took quite a while to ship for me, but this is a 1/12 scale or 6-inch figure made by INART. And if you don't know, InArt is kind of in the 1/6 scale business. They've kind of come on to compete against Hot Toys, and they're kind of known for their rooted hair figures. They're more expensive than Hot Toys, and it's actually made Hot Toys make an artistry version of some of their figures with rooted hair, trying to compete. So there's some competition, which healthy competition is good. And now InArt has entered the 1/12 scale realm. And if you've watched any other videos of this figure, and I usually don't, but I have, this thing looks fantastic for a 1/12 scale figure. So we'll get to it. But this came in a shipping box, not much bigger than this. The shipping box was plastered just like this, InArt, Batman. I don't like how the exterior could show what it was. I mean, anyone could take that, but here's the side of it. This is the deluxe version. This deluxe version comes with the Bruce Wayne head sculpt and I think a stand. I don't know if the stand came with the original, the standard version, but I pre-ordered this thing back in March, and it now just showed up. It took 3 weeks to ship out of Japan or out of China for me. 3 weeks. It took a long time, but it got here today. So let's get this thing unboxed and take a closer look at this Batman figure. All right, and here we go. I still have it in the shrink wrap, but this is what the box looks like. A really cool look on the box with some lines. Batman: The Dark Knight Rises. So that's from the third movie. This is the suit from the third movie. And as you can see here, this is HDM0001. So their first, I believe, 1/12 scale figure. And Queen Studios, I believe, owns InArt. I don't own any InArt figures. I don't need rooted hair for my figures. I have a whole thing about that. I won't go into details here, but this is officially licensed. It's not a bootleg. InArt is out of China, but it's not a bootleg. It's a licensed product, which is good to know for those that want licensed products. This is that. As you can see, there's somewhere around here's a hologram right there. There's a hologram right there. There's the barcode, made in China. And on the back here, it tells you this is for ages 14 and up. I don't see any small parts warnings. I'm sure there is. As always, with little ones, be careful. There's, hands and stuff with this. But yeah, this is the box. Let me get this thing unboxed again. It's like a box within a box within a box. Get this thing unboxed and we'll take a closer look. Okay, and just so you guys see, this thing was taped on both sides, so you have to cut the tape to open up. But you can't see the figure, and it looks like they're using rice paper, which is fantastic. Much better than the plastic paper that some of these companies are using. And then down here is a second level. This little foam here helps protect it. A little silica gel pack. And then I haven't looked at this yet. It looks like we have the cape. So there's the cape. It says InArt on the cape. And then here's a direction pamphlet. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then there's the stand covered in rice paper to protect it. We got a flight rod, and then there is the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, also protected by rice paper. So let me get this stuff all out, and we'll take a closer look. All right, and here we go. Here is Batman from The Dark Knight Rises and everything he comes with, the deluxe version. Quite a bit for the cost, but we'll look at the book real quick. This tells you everything. It's almost like a model kit. It has like a designation for what every piece is, which is pretty cool. It tells you what each hand does. Obviously, it shows you here some care directions. I would read these because it talks about how this shoulder pad moves in order so you don't break it. It's very, very delicate. And then it shows you how far all the joints can move, all that good stuff. And then it shows you how to change the faceplates out. There's faceplates, just like a 1/6 scale figure. Pretty cool. And then how to change the hands, like a typical 1/12 plug and play. And then down here, using the flight rod for that. And then back here, it shows you how to put the cape on. There's actually magnets. This chest piece comes off. We'll show that. And then it's a draped cape. There's no wire, which is fine. And then there's the EMP gun, the sticky bomb gun, and then the grapple gun. And 2 different size batarangs. And it does say here, which is kind of interesting, it talks about how the joints will be a little different. Some are tighter than others. It says the product is manufactured in batches. Occasionally, there may be some minor scratches, spills, paint rubs, etc. These do not constitute quality problems. I disagree with that statement. You're giving me a premium product. I don't want any of that in my product. So I'm not big on that statement there. They do say if the following quality problems are present in the product, please provide feedback to customer service in 20 days. Due to the nature of mass production, blah, 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 right? So read over this stuff, though. It's just good to know. I looked over my figure. He seems to be good. It does say because it's matte, you should wear gloves. Of course, I'm not right now. I do have gloves because you can easily scratch the matte paint. So keep that in mind. It can be easily scratched. So handle this figure delicately as you play around with it. Let's get a close-up of the figure, though, because this thing, man, it turned out awesome. And I'm not even the biggest Dark Knight, this trilogy. I like it. I like it a lot, but I'm not like head over heels over it. Never have been. In fact, this is the only memorabilia I own of this whole franchise. I liked it all just fine. It's just I prefer other Batmans better. But with that said, I wasn't going to pass on this figure. And the quality is not disappointing. I mean, look at those eyes. You can see from the mouth, it looks just like Christian Bale. And in fact, if you looked at this picture right here, you'd think maybe this is a 1/6 scale Batman. That's how good it looks. Here's the back of him. Look at all these plates. And it is all plastic. There's no soft goods, except for the cape, of course. I was curious to know if this stuff was rubber when I was watching other reviews, but it's like a type of different types of plastic. The directions show different types of plastic in this thing. There's his belt. There's the fins on the gauntlets. They are kind of sharp and they're hard, so just be careful you don't break them. I feel like the belt sits kind of weird. It's very low. I think it's how it sat on him. It just looks kind of odd that it's sitting so low. But yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Let's look at some of this stuff in more detail now. So it comes with a really nice base, and it says The Dark Knight Rises. Hard to tell with the lights, but that's what it says. And then there's the drape cape, which looks really nice. There's the opposing arm, the flight rod. There is the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, and oh my gosh, we'll get this thing on the figure. Take a look at how amazing that head sculpt is. This may be one of the best 1/12 scale head sculpts I've ever seen. It's so good. And it's all molded into one, so you can't move it at the neck. Or at the lower base of the neck you can, but you can't, there's no ball joint there, which is fine, because if they did, it would have broken it up with the hairline. But check that out. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know how I can't display this figure without putting this on, because it's just so darn good. We'll pop it on the figure in a bit, but I wanted to show that to you guys. I mean, that's well worth whatever the extra amount of money was for the deluxe version. I can't remember how much more it was, but... And then here's the weapons. The EMP gun, which he uses, I think, in the third movie. The sticky bomb gun, which I know he uses for sure in Dark Knight. I haven't watched these movies in so long, especially the last one with Bane. I haven't watched it in a long time. His grapnel gun, and then 2 different size batarangs, which is kind of cool. And then a bunch of hands. And they tell you what the hands are for. Now, 2 of these hands looks like they could go on a bat pod for steering the controls. They don't say that in the directions, I don't believe, but I've seen people put this on a bat pod and it fits just perfect. So you got a bunch of hands for throwing batarangs, for holding the weapons, and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to try and do now is put this cape on, and I want to be really careful. Again, I'm not wearing gloves, and maybe I should be. I'm kind of scared. But you see the shoulder pad, it moves up and out of the way to get you to, so you can raise the arms up 90. You know, let's go over articulation before the cape goes on. So the arms can go 90. The head and neck on this version are on a ball joint, so you can get some crazy range with his head. I mean, beautiful articulation. The head seems to be kind of stiff on this ball joint, which isn't a bad thing. And then it does have He does have bicep swivel. You just gotta be careful it doesn't interfere with this elbow or this shoulder pad. And then double jointed elbows. Let me get this shoulder pad out of the way. As you can see, it goes past 90. And then ball hinge wrist pegs. Now, this is maybe the one negative to this figure, and it's not a big deal, is the ab crunch. There's not a lot of ab crunch. He does have an upper torso, as you can see here. And look at these plates all move separately, which is super cool. You think that will give you more crunch, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's not bad. And then it goes back. Look at these plates moving. Look at that. What a cool design. It reminds me of like Iron Man Hot Toys stuff. Just really intricately designed. Engineered really good. But he really can't bend too much. Not a whole lot of torso twist either. The upper torso is the best for turning. But these are all, it's like 1, 2, 3 separate ball joints. Look at that. Interesting. And the legs go up 90. Double jointed knees. And all these joints feel great. Nothing's loose out of the box. And then ball hinge. And they have a great rocker. Oh my gosh, the rocker is really good on that foot. And then toe articulation. And the boots have tread. Look at the tread, like a mini Hot Toys. Or a mini INART in this case, right? The legs don't drop down though. They don't drop down. But we'll see for posing. And going back, they don't go back really at all. This butt plate gets in the way right here. The butt plate. Not a big deal. I don't care about his legs going backwards, to be honest. Okay, so let me now try and get this this plate, chest plate off so that we can get the, oh gosh. Yeah, I better do this off camera. Oh, there we go. It's just this part right here. Okay, so it's that part right there. You can see the magnets. I'll try doing this on camera. It might not be the easiest, but we shall try. Yeah, I may have to do this off camera. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, and here is Batman with his cape on top of his stand. I'm not using the flight rod. He stands pretty good in the stand, so that's kind of cool to see. The cape wasn't the easiest to get on, but it wasn't too bad. Just take your time, especially pulling this magnetic piece off. And as you can see, it just goes underneath the shoulder pads. I think it's supposed to go under the shoulder pads. Maybe it's supposed to go, no, yeah, definitely under the shoulder pads. And it's got some nice pleats in it. Again, it's just a drape cape. Mine's actually probably needs to be ironed. There's a little crease right here, which is kind of making it look kind of bad. Maybe over time, to package, it'll be better. But yeah, I think it drapes really nice. It looks really good. And this is not a pleather cape. It's fabric, so it's going to hold up just fine. I would say just be careful if you have anything on your fingers or nails, you don't snag it. It could possibly be snagged, and then then you're in trouble. But man, look at this figure. It is a really good looking figure. Really awesome. I would have preferred Batman Begins suit. That's probably my favorite suit of the trilogy. I think this just got a little too, I don't know. I know most people love this look, and I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite Batman look for a suit, is all. I prefer the Begins look. Maybe they will. Maybe INART will make a Begins. Maybe INART will make a Joker and a Bane. I don't see why they wouldn't. They have the license. So let's try and change out one of these hands and see how easy it is. Okay, pulled out really easy. If I can focus in on this hand. Typical peg system. No problem there. Let me go ahead and get him in a pose with a weapon. All right, and check this out. I got Batman with the EMP rifle, and man, that looks really cool. Really cool. I had to do some finicky work with get this hand to get that weapon over, but yeah, it looks really good. Holds the weapon great. I haven't had him try to aim it yet. I'll try that for a pose to see if he can actually aim down the barrel. But yeah, look at that, man. That is top notch. Okay, this figure does not have butterfly joints in the shoulders, so that's maybe another small negative. You really can't get him aiming down the sights. At least with this weapon, I can't. Not a big deal. I probably wouldn't have him pose like that anyway. But it's kind of hard to get him to actually shoot this thing. But looking at that weapon, check that weapon out. It's like a piece of blue plastic on the end there. That's pretty cool. It's painted, flat black. There's no weathering to it. Really not any weathering on this figure at all. There's no weathering whatsoever. That matte black sure looks good though, I gotta say. Let's try some more poses. Okay, here he is with the sticky bomb gun. Again, I don't think he really holds his weapons the best for photo, especially this one. I don't believe the sticky bomb moves the gun. It's static. It's a cool looking weapon though, or not actually a weapon, right? I don't know, device, gadget. Still awesome looking. All right, here he is on the flight rod using his grapnel gun. The flight rod has little screws, and you have to use a little screwdriver to tighten it. I didn't tighten mine, but he keeps wanting to fall because those screws out of package are not tight enough on those points where it can, you can move it. But if you want to get a flying pose like this, you can do something a little dynamic, which is pretty cool. Not too bad. Let's see if you can do a hero landing. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. There's just not enough torso articulation for him to get a good hero landing, unfortunately. The legs look like they bend okay, but it's just there's no butterfly joint, which is kind of the problem. Well, I say there's not, but then it moves forward a little bit. It's not like a traditional butterfly joint. Yeah, he really can't do a hero pose. Not the end of the world, but when you look for like some major articulation, a hero landing pose kind of tells you a lot of times how much articulation a figure has. And I also missed that there's a thigh cut here, kind of like SHF does their thigh cuts. It looks a lot like that. Let's go now with the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. Before that, though, I want to change out these faceplates. So there's one that comes stock. Let me change that with the other two. So there's the second one. Looks the same as the first one. I'm confused. Let me zoom in a bit more. Maybe a little more grumpy. I don't know. Looks the same. And that one's got a slightly open mouth. Slightly open. Not a lot of difference in any of these. They should have given like an angry one, which they didn't really do. With some teeth and stuff. You can just see some teeth in this one, but yeah, this one's, I don't know. They're too similar, these three faceplates, in my opinion. I'm gonna just keep that one. Yeah, looks good. So to do the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, you've got to pull out the neck piece as well. Neck piece has to come out. And then this just goes in. I gotta move the cape out of the way. Yeah, I gotta be careful with that cape. Let me do this off camera. All right, and here is the Christian Bale head sculpt with him holding the cowl. This is so good. So good. Yeah, there's no way I can't display him without this head sculpt on my shelf. I mean, from all angles, this looks like Christian Bale, in my opinion. And the eyes, man, they did a really good job. Really good job. I did put the cape over the shoulder pads, so I think it looks better. I think that's how it was. Like I said, I haven't watched these movies in so long, I can't remember. It's cut in a V right there, which I guess is screen accurate. I really don't know. Yeah. Man, that is such a good 1/12 scale head sculpt. Bravo, INART. Okay, let's do some comparisons. All right, here we have the INART Batman in the middle with two Mezco figures, the Batman, Robert Pattinson, Mezco, and then the Golden Age Joker. And as you can see, the INART is definitely shorter. I don't have a tape measure with me, but I feel like this INART is more along the size range of like a SHF Figure Arts figure, SH Figure Arts figure. They're a bit shorter on the 1/12 scale, 1/12 inch scale. But yeah, you can see Pattinson's much bigger. And I think, I can't remember how big Pattinson, he might be 6.5 inches. So this maybe 6 or just under 6 inches, I feel. Still looks pretty cool. All right, now we have a Marvel Legends King the Conqueror on the left and a McFarlane Toys Riddler on the right. And McFarlane Toys is 7 inches, so you can tell those do not scale at all with this INART. And that Marvel Legends King is, I think, right at 6 inches. So you can see that this INART figure is a bit short, on the shorter side. And I'm never a fan when 1/12 scale comes in smaller like that. I wish it was a true 6-inch scale for some of these lines like SHF, and now it looks like INART. Not a deal breaker, but it's just not going to scale well with, like, if you have Hasbro Legends or even Mezco, it's not going to scale well with any of those figures, apart from maybe an SHF, which I don't have any SHF to show. I do, however, have this Bring Arts of Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII. And Bring Arts is on the shorter side of 1/12 scale as well. So you can see here, the Batman's taller than Vincent. So yeah, it might be just underscaled a bit for 1/12, but I think it checks all the boxes in my opinion. So here's the big question. Is this INART 1/12 scale Batman from the Dark Knight Rises worth it? Well, here's where things get interesting. I got my figure from Toys Metaverse, which is out of China, and the figure was $82. $82. And shipping for me was $23. So that's a grand total of $105 shipped. If you look at other companies and what they're charging for 1/12 scale figures, Mezco, Mafex, SHF, this comes in a bit lower. And the quality is, in my opinion, top notch. Look, I love Mezco. I've bled Mezco for years, and I still love Mezco. But I think INART's jumping in, and they're doing stuff that is going to bring good, healthy competition to some of these, now I feel, overpriced lines. Like Mezco, they're charging a lot, and their quality isn't this good. I'll be the first to say it. It is soft goods. I get it. But you know, I paid $23 to have this thing shipped halfway around the world. I pay more than that for Mezco, and I live just a few states over from where they ship. I'm kind of tired of Americans and the shipping charges they cost when it's coming directly in America. So I don't know. I'm getting a little jaded here with some of this stuff, and my collection's slimming down because I have no more room, and price is out of control. So I say that to say this, that this figure, in my opinion, is absolutely worth the 105 or whatever you end up paying for it. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't think he's still available. You might be able to find a couple places. He's off of Toys Metaverse website as of today. When I film this in July of 2025, you may be able to find him somewhere else, but I have a feeling this is going to shoot up on the secondary market because this is fantastic. And it's licensed. It's a licensed product. So hats off to INART. I am very impressed. If you make more 1/12 scale figures, I will probably buy them. And that's all I got to say about that. So let me know what you guys think. Man, let's just take one more good look at this guy. I can't get over how clean this figure turned out. You know, then I zoom in, you can see the carbon fiber work. I mean, it's not real carbon fiber, right? But it looks like it. There's the belt. Yeah. I mean, we're really close right now. We're super close, zoomed in. So I'm just showing you guys a detailed look. The fins on the gauntlets look great. It looks like it's fabric, but it's not. It's just plastic. And that Christian Bale head sculpt. Oh my goodness, man. Right there. Right there. It's fantastic. Holy smokes, man. Yeah, so, you know, give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Did you order it? Do you have it? Do you feel the same way I do about it? I think it's a great figure. So until next time, this has been INART Studios, Batman from The Dark Knight Rises. Thanks for watching.